Gary Thompson, and I'm the clerk of the course for the Manx Grand Prix.
So, with this situation that happened on Sunday, many people seem to be under the impression that riders shouldn't be returned against the normal flow of the course. Why were they on this occasion?
Yeah, so what it was on Sunday, we had this extreme circumstance where we had the incident took place at Kate's Cottage. We had riders red flagged in the Classic Superbike Manx Grand Prix session all around the course. And there was only a handful of bikes that had gone through the incident, so from Cregnebar back to the Grandstand, but all the other bikes were literally stopped from the Grandstand basically around to Keppel Gate. So we had the situation where the incident took place at 10 minutes to 5. Obviously it took a long time for the incident to be cleared, and in fact I believe the roads actually got open between the bungalow and Cregnebar at 10:05. So the decision was taken in accordance with the procedures we've now got outlined in the event safety plan to bring the riders back wrong direction under the speed control conditions of 2 travelling marshals.
So could you just sort of explain under what circumstances you make that sort of decision? Like, what tips the balance? What ultimately is who ultimately has the say on this? Is it yourself?
Yeah, it is me as the clerk of the course, and the decision for Sunday night we had 2 options basically. We could have left the riders out there, for the duration of the incident, so they would have been sat out there till at least 10:05, because we'd have had to have kept the course closed, and nobody wants that. Obviously we've got marshals out there as well, so nobody wants to keep the course closed any longer than necessary. So what we decided in conjunction with the police was to keep the course closed between the bungalow and Cregnebar, but before that I took the decision to bring the riders back wrong direction, speed control between 2 travelling marshals, so we've got comms at the front of the convoy and comms at the back. Obviously everybody, all the competitors now have GPS trackers on the machines, and also any other non-competitive vehicles, so whether that's course cars, TTMA response cars, emergency vehicles, DOI vehicles, everybody's fitted with trackers. So we would have known that had any vehicle, or would have been notified by marshals if any vehicle had entered the course without our authority to go course direction, and could have met the convoy. We had assurance from all the sectors that the course was clear, there was no vehicles moving, so then obviously we set the convoy off.
So you mentioned there are GPS trackers to sort of ensure that you can return riders to the grandstand safely. Does that carry any risks, and how are they sort of mitigated?
Well, no, it doesn't carry any risk now, because as soon as any vehicle, even if they're not on the TT course, wherever they are on the Isle of Man, as long as they've got a GPS tracker, we can see where they are on the island. So we know where they are at all times, and the GPS tracking system is accurate. I think it's to within meters, so that there's no issue on that. And as I say, all competitive machines have got the vehicle trackers, the GPS trackers fitted, as have the 2 travelling marshals. They're fitted with comms, so we knew where everybody was at all times on the course on Sunday night.
And we know there was obviously a very high-profile incident in 2018 when riders were travelling in the opposite direction. So can you understand why the public perhaps are alarmed when they see this happening before they've had this sort of explainer?
Absolutely, and I completely get that. But as with anything that serious happens, we put in place procedures, and since that incident, we've then introduced the GPS tracking system, and we've really tightened upon procedures. So procedures, processes have evolved, and I have to say that the marshals out on the course on Sunday night were brilliant. They reported back nothing was moving. So with every confidence, we were able to set off that convoy, knowing the course was clear.
And so obviously now this is breaking down any misconceptions that the public may have. In terms of the riders, are they aware that they can be brought back under these conditions? Are there certain expectations from them beyond, obviously you mentioned they're speed controlled, so do they know, okay, if we're going the wrong way around the course, this is what the procedure is for me? How is it sort of communicated to them?
Yeah, so it's in the event safety plan, which they don't necessarily see. It was in the TT regulations for 2024. What we hadn't done, and obviously what I've picked up on social media, which has been very much highlighted, what we didn't do was transpose that same sentence from the TT regs into the Manx Grand Prix regs. However, having said that, and this is the important bit, is that at every single rider briefing, all the riders are briefed that in the event of a red flag incident, they will be escorted back to the grandstand in course direction, but in extreme circumstances and at the clerk of the course's discretion, if the situation arises, I can bring them back in wrong direction, but it is in extreme circumstances, and they're all aware of that.
And the riders on Sunday were brought back because of the incident near Kate's Cottage. We know there was also another incident in that area earlier on in the session. Ahead of tonight's qualifying session, were there any remedial works needed? Are you happy the course is in good condition ahead of practice today?
Yeah, we've done some work with the DOI. What we've done, the DOI have cleared out the gully on the left-hand side, so to allow for the water to allow for better drainage, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But the course inspection officer has been up. Where the damp patch was on Sunday, it's and I'm not saying that's the cause of the incident, but there was a damp patch which everybody was aware of. That was nowhere near as bad as it was for the TT, and it's even better than what it was on Sunday night if we go out tonight.
And you say if, we're fingers crossed everything is going to be in place. We know we've had an extended yellow weather warning in place for this week. From a logistical and organisation point of view, how difficult does it make your job in terms of trying to get as many sessions as possible and plan around weather that's ever changing? Because we know on the Isle of Man it's ever changing. So what's the logic into whether the session goes, whether it doesn't? What do you do? How do you balance it all?
So basically, obviously, I along with everybody else, I've got weather app. I've got about 4 weather apps on my phone, which which are fairly accurate. But obviously, I don't rely on them solely. So I'm in constant contact with the weather met station down at Ronaldsway. I have numerous conversations with them, and I'm going to have another one in about half an hour at 4 o'clock. I'll get the latest update tonight. The latest update for tonight is that we may be hit by a couple of showers, but the other thing to take into consideration for me is the wind speed, and the wind has increased. So I've got to look at the wind speed as to how that affects the session. But in terms of going forward, I know for a fact that tomorrow's not looking good because of significant rainfall from lunchtime onwards. So tomorrow, although I don't want to say it's off yet, but obviously it is looking in doubt. Thursday afternoon's okay. The evening's not. Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, and Monday's okay. And the reason I say Friday evening and Sunday, obviously they're 2 contingency sessions, as is Thursday afternoon. I've already applied to the Department of Infrastructure this morning for the contingency sessions, which I've been given approval for. So I've now got approval to be able to run a session on Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Friday evening, Sunday afternoon if required.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.